here's the plan. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the first part here is kind of clinic talk more so. I'm going to go here next is going to be a little bit more of the meat and potatoes of what our kids actually see. So from a meeting standpoint, from a walkthrough standpoint, practice plan, and then how that's repeated obviously all the way through. So the first thing here, this is our, and this might be a little bit hard to see, this is really just our 5-day camp schedule in the fall, and then also our one in the summer. So again, you can kind of see a meeting, team meeting, O meet, D walkthrough, D meet, O walkthrough, and then it has kind of the Jack schedule and what they're doing on there. And then our OD run through in our athletic center, which we're fortunate. We have a 60-yard indoor. And then we have break where they eat. We do some team building, some mental training, and then practice. So again, some days you'll see multiple practices. Some days you'll see a little bit more special teams and things like that. But you can at least see that, there's a lot that goes into an install. It's not just walk out on the field and let's go over everything. So I'm going to break that down a little bit more in terms of what that actually looks like. When our kids pull up Huddle, when they go to our contact days, they click on contact days. We create that as a game, and then they go under game footage. They see all of this right here for our install schedule. So bright white is our offense, red swarm is our defense. You can see it's day one install. Okay. And I'm going to show you that, like I said, throughout the presentation, exactly what our players see on day one install. We also then do a voiceover. So it'll be me installing day one on a Huddle presentation, almost like I'm doing now. But then our kids can go back and listen to the coaching cues, not just read slides and watch film, but they can actually go back and just listen to the details of the coaching cues. And we'll do that for day one, day two, day three, day four, all the way through. Our defense does the same thing. Our D coordinator does the same thing with their install. Their voiceover is built into it, so it's just labeled a little bit differently, but it's the same idea here. Highly recommend. I think it's awesome. Our youth coaches can use it. They can look at it. They can access it. Our kids can access it year round. So it allows us to we're limited here in Wisconsin with our contact days. So it allows our kids to really put the ownership on them and dive deep into what we're doing. And really, like I said before, exhaust all of our resources to make sure that they are set up for success. Here's our walkthrough schedule. So an example of a walkthrough schedule. So you can see here, feed the cats kind of warm up. We do a quick warm up especially for our walkthrough or our run through. Program wide ball security. Then we go through our install, walkthrough, then tempo. And then we go through Indy and we kind of go through all that. And we flip flop here so our jacks can kind of do both. But that takes you a little bit through. You can see just kind of the organization of what that looks like in a walkthrough. And then we go out to an actual full practice. You can kind of see what that looks like here as well. So install, we do routes on air, then a quick install period versus bags or coaches, dynamic warm-up, competition. So we go good versus good right off the bat, day one install. Actually, not on day one. We do one versus ones, like corners versus receivers, safeties versus like our slots and our tight ends, a little comp period. Our O-line, D-line does some tug-of-war stuff, so kind of fun there. Indy, 7-on-7, team, and then we obviously take a break and we kind of run through that same thing again. Number one, so our jacks can get that second half reps, but also so those guys that aren't jacks, they're getting double reps, double 7-on-7, double team session, so they can get full install and all that stuff. So that kind of gives you an idea there of what that looks like from a practice standpoint. And obviously more as we get pads on, those competition periods change. What are we doing? We may do third down. We may do a backed up. We may do a red zone period, things like that. But in general, you can kind of see how it's laid out. Then we show them some film, okay, of like, okay, coach, you said we got 7-on-7 today. What does that actually look like, right? So then we're going to show them film of this. Hey, here's the expectation. And we have a whole practice culture presentation, which is, like I said, a whole nother clinic that we go over as well. And this is in there as well. And I'll touch on some of that within this install, but this should give you a good idea. Like our kids will see this clip. Okay, here's 7-on-7. This is what it looks like. Make sure, you're in the right attire. This is where you should be on the field location if you're not in. Making sure that we have rushers for 7-on-7, kind of the old Phil Longo deal. Then we're going, okay. Ball's gone. Defensive guys, make sure you're sprinting to the football. Again, we're coaching kind of all that stuff up. So I'm not going to show you all these clips, but again, you can kind of see it here. We never snap the ball on a yard line. So it's never on a 5-yard marker because very rarely does that happen in the game. And then again, we're still going to move it also horizontally on a hash. So just some different stuff. I think this actually might all be day one install stuff too, so kind of relates with what I'm going to go over later. Okay, if this is now obviously day 3 for us, or day 4, whatever. We're in shells here. Okay, we got inside run coming up. What does that look like from a practice standpoint? So we'll show again an example. While inside run's going on, we got one-on-ones with receivers and DBs going on over here. So again, just another example of, hey, you guys know exactly what that should look like. Okay. Just some GH counter there. We're going to actually go 9-on-7. I know a lot of people do that, but typically when we're in inside run, we do not throw RPOs. We will run some first level reads, but no really second or third level. Like here's a little triple action here with some fly motion, zone bluff. So that'll all be built in, but we're never going to really run like a stick, zone lock stick concept where we're reading it back or anything like that. We want to really focus on truly inside run like the drill is. I know some no-huddle or tempo teams or some RPO teams will do that. We want to really focus on our stuff. Okay.